So you sell some really expensive stuff. Take us through the process of how you sell a jet.
Well, it takes many, many years of building that network, because the network is key. You have to get to know people who have these assets, and you have to convince them to give it to you to sell for them, or if somebody's looking to buy from you. So you have to build that reputation that you know what you're talking about, and when you call them, they take your call, or somebody else refers you to them, and that relationship is so important, because you can call somebody on the phone, as these guys will tell you, time and time, every couple months for a year or 2 years, and maybe you have that telephone relationship you build, but it's a special kind of relationship, and sometimes the chemistry works with somebody on the telephone, sometimes it doesn't. The same thing happens, face to face with people. There's an energy that connects or doesn't connect. So once you have one end of that deal, you either control the buyer or control the seller, then it's more easy to go find the other side. So the key is trying to find the foundation of the deal. That's, if you're selling an airplane, get an airplane listed, you control it. Now you start marketing it, and you wait for people to come to you to buy that airplane. At the same time, you are doing a guerrilla marketing and calling people who have the airplane model that's maybe 1 or 2 levels below, seeing if they're looking to upgrade to your airplane.
And you call that guerrilla marketing?
Guerrilla marketing,
what's that?
starting from the ground up.
Right.
The easy way is putting an ad in the magazine and waiting for people to call, or something on the web or something like that. But guerrilla marketing is actually making those cold calls. If you're looking at selling this level 3 jet, start with the level 1 guys and call them and say, hey, are you looking to change in the next 6 months or a year? And sometimes, maybe I'm not, but the guy in the hangar might be looking, or do you know this guy? And if you make enough calls, you'll find that needle in the haystack. If you just stay home and never go to meet anybody, nothing's ever going to happen. But if you go out to enough restaurant, bars, parties, events, shit happens. I mean, you will meet somebody who will know somebody or need you to do something, or give you a piece of information that will give you an opportunity somewhere else. You need to be out there. And it's the same thing with sales. You need to be out there. You need to be promoting yourself. You need to be promoting your product. And sometimes you're promoting something else, and the answer to a different question comes to you. So we might be working on 10 or 15 deals at one time, and another new opportunity comes just by calling on another deal, and then you have to take that little seed and then grow that to a plant. So it's the people you're dealing with, though, really know their stuff, and from the technical standpoint, and then the principals that you're dealing with, or the CEOs of these big corporations, like I said before, they're powerful people, and you can't bullshit them, and you have to be sincere in what you're telling them, and they'll feel that. They'll feel that in your voice, and they'll know if you're trying to hustle them or if you're really telling them the truth. That's one of the key, things to a good deal, is get them to feel that they could trust you.
So some people have walked past here on Park Lane and come in and ended up buying a jet. Has anyone bought a jet or inquired from your new social media explosion?
Yes, we've actually sold a few jets from social media.
So that's where they found out about you first,
Yes.
on a TikTok or Instagram or something like that?
Yeah.
Did you ever think that would happen?
No. But again, it was a pleasant surprise. And some of it, we did it through people calling us and finding us from it. Some of us trolling through the social media.
Scrolling, not trolling.
No, trolling. Trolling through people who are following, you, and then contacting them and seeing,
Right.
Kareem did one right there.
Yeah?
He went through social media and found a guy who was posting on his airplane and things, and he contacted him and sold him a plane.
Has anyone tried to offer to buy a jet for cash off you?
In the early days, I did have one instance.
Did you sell?
I had a guy. It was a turboprop, a twin turboprop airplane. He wanted to lease it for a year, And it was so funny because we were going to see the airplane with this guy, and he was telling me that he was in the lobster business, based out of Miami, and he was picking up a lot of lobsters from the Caribbean islands.
Did that raise any alarm bells?
That was interesting, you know. And one day I says, you know, I don't think that story is going to help, but, you know, listen, if you want to lease the airplane, we can go see the airplane, and maybe, you know, if they don't have a credit, maybe you pay, you know, for the payments up front or something like that. So I went with him in this airplane, and to go see, this is my early days in my 20s. And we went and looked at the airplane, and he said, you know, we left and we were flying back. He says, yeah, he goes, I want to lease the airplane. I'll pay for a full year's lease up front. I said, okay, great. I said, so send me the money. He goes, no. And he's flying his airplane, right? He reaches back, literally, and he pulls out a briefcase from the back seat, and he gives it to me. I says, what's this? He goes, that's the lease payments. What are you talking about? And I opened it up, and it was just piles of cash in there. Piles of cash. I'm like, what do you want me to do? You want me to count this? I mean, really? I mean, you're crazy? And he said, no. I said, I can't give them this cash. I said, we can't do that. I mean, listen, put this wire transfer the money. We got to sign a lease with the company. You got to send the money to the lessor. I can't do this. You know. Anyway, it's funny. They did the deal. They wired the money.
Yeah.
6 months later, they found the airplane crashed in the Colombian forest. The airplane was crashed.
So you've
I was like 26 years old or something like that.
Has anyone tried to buy a jet from you with cryptocurrency?
Yeah, there's been a couple, but we haven't been successful to do it. But I think it's coming around that you can get a company who will take the crypto and convert it to cash and pay the seller. So we could facilitate it now if we really found that buyer who wanted to do that. Obviously, there's a percentage that gets charged by the person who's going to change it to dollars.